Hello, everyone. Just a few thoughts on the story Aliens that we're reading at the moment by Richard Van Camp. So, Aliens, I'll get right to it. We're going to leave this video to about 10 minutes, a little bite sized one. Aliens is a story about mystery. It's about the mysterious things that we encounter, whether it's in this case people or aliens or things that we're a little bit suspicious of. Maybe it's because we're just unfamiliar with them. But the idea is that mystery around identity, who people are, how they act, why they do things, this sort of mystery is what leads to speculation and wonder. And especially in the case of a community, it leads to certain assumptions and it builds a reputation around people. Just to mention one of the small topics of this story. But the story is about mystery. And we see that right in the beginning when the author Van Camp is talking about the mysterious obelisk, the star people in the sky. But there's nothing specific that they know about them. This oblong stone is just sitting in the sky there. But then also, you notice that the mysterious aspects of the aliens in the sky is one thing to notice, but the consequences don't seem all that bad. The author actually mentions that the oceans are being cleansed. You know, they're gently simmering, but they're being cleansed. And the elders actually mention in here in the bottom that they're helping us. So there's this mysterious thing in the sky that's actually helping us. And this is the foundation for the story. And it's also one of the aspects of character also in this story, because this is the setting the author is describing. And the author is also using symbolic elements to mirror the character of Jimmy. Because when we read the story, we notice the same, let's say, outcome. Jimmy, in the beginning of the story, when we meet him, is a very mysterious character. The narrator of the story, the aunt of Chandra, describes him as being quiet and he's always been gentle. And the first time that we hear about him standing in the back of lines. He's always in the back, he never does this. So we see Jimmy right from the beginning as someone who is an outsider, someone who's not involved in the mainstream, actions of a community. He sits around the side of parties. He stands against the wall often, and he's described as gentle and quiet. But our job this week is going to be noticing how the author continues to develop the character of Jimmy in Aliens. So in the materials we mention, or I mention, a few of the techniques that authors use. You can describe them in so many ways, everyone, but specifically in this story, we can look at dialogue of Jimmy, especially when he speaks to Chandra on the date. A lot of the things that he says, we're able to interpret and analyze. And that's the key, this interpretation. In this story, as I said, there's also elements of setting that build character. There are the relationships, Jimmy specifically with Chandra. That's a relationship in the story that reveals a lot about Jimmy's character. In this story, we can also talk about the actions of Jimmy. It's a big way to reveal character, because think about the ways that you know some of your friends or even family members. When they say things, you're less likely to believe that that's what principles they have or how they feel about things. Often it's actions that reveal more about character, and it's the same thing in stories. It's the truth there too. So, for example, there's a lot of action towards the end of the story that reveal the character of Jimmy in very, very reliable ways. So I encourage you this week, everyone, to visit the story and try to find one of those techniques that the author uses, or find essentially a part of the story that you think reveals the character of Jimmy. And then jump over to the discussion forum and let's talk about it a little bit. This week, The consequences, the stakes are very, very low. We have a reading response journal and a discussion forum. And I want you to tell me what you think. How did the author reveal the character of Jimmy? How did the author do that? Okay, so that's the challenge this week, everyone. All right, and I'll see you online. Thank you.